We have breaking news. Michael Bunting has been suspended for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's going to miss some substantial time. We'll discuss the situation coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. We just got breaking news from NHL player safety. We knew there was a hearing already regarding Toronto Maple Leafs forward Michael Bunting based on a hit that happened last night in Game 1 of their 2023 NHL Stanley Cup playoff series against the Tampa Bay Lightning involving defenseman Erik Cernal. We knew there was a legal check to the head. At the time of the play, he was given a match penalty and ejected from the game. And the NHL Player Safety Department has now suspended Michael Bunting for 3 playoff games. So he will be unavailable for games 2, 3, and 4. Of course, we don't know how long the series is going to go, but we know it'll go at least 4 games. At this point, Tampa leads the series 1-0. Bunting, to me, it was a really dumb, unnecessary, avoidable play. As they said in the video, which I will put the link in the pinned comment down below if you want to watch the video released by Player Safety explaining their decision here. Obviously, you know, they both turned to go towards the puck because the puck was wrapping around the net. Bunting elevates his arm and goes directly to check Cernal and gets almost 100% head contact. And there's very little contact with the body. It's almost all head. The puck is nowhere near them, so it's both interference and an illegal check to the head. They're obviously factoring in here as well that Cernal is injured and will be out for some time. Don't know the extent, of course, because when you're dealing with concussion protocol, it's hard to predict. But they've already ruled out Cernal for Game 2, so we know that much for sure. I would say it's quite likely that he misses more than that, but we don't know. That's difficult to say. Obviously, they'll have days in between games and see how he progresses here. But ultimately, Michael Bunting really cost his team here hardcore. That gave the Lightning a 5-minute power play, which they did score on, which made the score last night even wider margin, which made it that much more difficult to come back. And now he's doing them a bigger disservice because he's out of the lineup. Obviously, Matthew Nice, it looks like he's going to come in to this morning's practice with the Leafs. They already had Bunting in the, I believe, it's a gray jersey, which means you're not expected to play, like with the scratches, because they knew this was likely coming down. They just didn't know the exact amount or how long he'd be out. And Nice was in a top 6 sweater, so it looks like he'll likely take his spot there on the lineup, which is good for Nice in a sense, but you got to wonder, this is the 3 games. Depending on how things are going in the series, how quickly will they put Bunting in? Do they feel like they can trust him? Or are they going to be having flashbacks here thinking this is Nazem Kadri 2.0? I mean, look at Kadri when he was with the Leafs. Got suspended on multiple occasions in different series against the Boston Bruins. And that completely swayed the series. And a different timing, of course. Different series. You can't say it's exact. But it's very reminiscent of what happened on those days with Kadri. He's the kind of player who likes to play on the edge, and certainly he crossed it, and he got to be able to control himself. It's just that simple, but Bunting will be out 3 games. I honestly didn't think it was going to be that much. Player safety is difficult to predict. I thought 1, maybe 2, considering he has no history, and they even went over that. There's no history here from Bunting. He has been fined by player safety for diving, but he has not been suspended for any kind of illegal checks to the head or anything of that nature in the past. So this is a new situation for him. Of course, he really doesn't have that much history in the league, but still has been clean in that sense during the time he has been there. So, this is a big deal for Toronto. Now, I still don't think, though, this is going to cost them the series. Bunting is an important player, but they have a very deep team. They can overcome this. The Lightning are going to be without Cernal for sure, and there's a possibility Victor Hedman may miss Game 2 or more as well, because Hedman also left Game 1 fairly early in the game, and they could be down a couple of their top D. If that's the case, the Leafs really need to take advantage here, and we'll see with rookie Matthew Nice can have an impact. So let me know your thoughts on the decision from NHL Player Safety. Let me know if you think they got this right. I know there was lots of other questionable calls in last night's game, some for both sides. It wasn't the greatest refereed game ever, but at the end of the day, I don't think the referees really determined the outcome at all. I know I've seen that narrative on social media today, but that's a topic for another day. So let me know your thoughts on this decision, and we'll talk about it in the comments. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and stick around. We'll keep up to date with all the news, rumors, and analysis of all 32 NHL teams. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.